are celebrating a birthday.
Thanks to Facebook, we got to watch the party at Las Bella back in February. It was a day of celebration for 71-year-old Shahnaaz Choudhry. That last name, well, it should be very familiar to our viewers. This is her son, real estate developer Ali Choudhry, a guy who's getting quite the reputation downtown at the courthouse, and it's not a good one.
A lot of the lawsuits that I'm aware of have fraud allegations.
Bet you're not shocked that we didn't get an invitation to the birthday party, but wait a minute. Looks like we're invited to a different Choudhry party. Oh wait, it's a subpoena. So we showed it to Jeff Diamond, who's a lawyer for Dolcefino Consulting.
The subpoena is bizarre to say the least. It on its face requests patently confidential information.
Ali Choudhry wants to get me under oath to tell him what this guy may have told me.
Ali Choudhry is working to silence Mr. Wyatt.
Chris Wyatt is the former chief operating officer of Choudhry's company, Jetall. And he's been dishing out secrets that include evidence Choudhry lied to banks to get financing for some of his real estate deals. And that's not all.
A husband and wife battling out over tens of millions of dollars.
Did Choudhry use shell companies to hide money? Not just from his ex-wife, but from the judge who was deciding the case. I've clearly made Mr. Choudhry's crack legal eagle mad at me, quoting, Dolcefino clearly has no respect for the justice system. Well, actually, we have lots of respect for the integrity of justice, ethical lawyers, and ethical judges. And that's why this Facebook video of Shahnaaz Choudhry's birthday party should be made part of a judicial conduct investigation. Take a look who was part of the party. It's Harris County State District Judge Brittany Morris. There's her honor right next to Shahnaaz Choudhry. Does this judge simply not care about appearances?
Maybe she'll blame it on her being young and inexperienced and not knowing any better, but I doubt that that's true.
Just days earlier, the chief administrative judge in Harris County had to actually force Judge Morris off the bench because she was presiding in a lawsuit involving Ali Choudhry. We've already told you the judge had refused to go voluntarily from a financial fight over this Galleria area building. Despite clear evidence, her relationship with Ali Choudhry represented the kind of obvious conflict of interest that makes a mockery of justice. Quoting, if Judge Morris's conduct can be deemed impartial, lawyers argued, then our judicial system is doomed. You saw this case of judicial injustice here first. Judge Morris would get an early test of her ethics, taking over this big legal case involving the Beale Bank building, involving Ali Choudhry. And boy, did she fail.
Hello everyone, my name is Brittany Morris. I am the judge-elect of the 333rd Civil District Court right here in Harris County.
Judge Morris won the Democratic primary last year, and that campaign was mostly bankrolled by folks connected to Ali Choudhry. She was unopposed in November, and we all remember that fairness pitch.
Everyone should have their day in court. Everyone should have an even playing field.
We showed you text messages and emails that showed that Morris not only had an office inside Ali Choudhry's office before she put on the black robe, the judge in waiting was apparently even helping Choudhry on his lawsuits. Even the one Morris had to know was in the court she would take over. Oh, what people say on text. Ali needs to run his company and make deals, she wrote. Just let me know where I can be of assistance. Once on the bench, Judge Morris even issued a court ruling that helped Ali Choudhry in his 10-year-long legal battle, right before her lack of ethics was exposed by us. Now Choudhry's lawyer wants to find out how we got all those text messages.
I was shocked and surprised.
Attorney Gary Roth represents a guy hurt in a wreck with a large black van owned by Jetall, Choudhry's company.
He has herniated discs in his cervical and lumbar spines and torn ligaments and rotator cuff in his right shoulder.
That accident happened long before Brittany Morris used a black van that's the spitting image of the Choudhri Company van in her campaign. But that's not really the problem here. Gary Roth filed his lawsuit against Ali Choudhri's company in April of 2019. And you won't believe which judge is supposed to decide if this hurt guy gets justice. Brittany Morris, who hasn't told Roth about her relationship.
My reaction is that she's violating multiple judicial conduct codes, being unfair to all the litigants in her courtroom other than those that she's friendly with.
And knowing the judge was at a birthday party for Choudhri's mom after her conflicts were exposed and his case was still pending, well, you can only guess his reaction. It didn't sit well.
Well, that's even more shocking.
You know what else is shocking? The growing list of companies suing Ali Choudhri for alleged fraud now. Sonder USA likes to say it's building the future of hospitality. The California company hired Jedal to build fancy residential units on some of the floors of 4 office buildings here in Houston. On July 24, 2019, they say Choudhri claimed, quote, "We should have our permits any day now."
And as time went on, there was not a lot of progress going on.
But a year later, when the Sonder bigwigs came to town, they discovered the promised apartments, well, they never really happened.
2 of the properties were not even owned by Ali or any of his sort of affiliated entities.
That's why Sonder lawyers called Houston attorney Tom Hunt for help. He has sued Choudhri before, and he wanted them to see our investigation.
I referred them to your website.
Now they've sued Choudhri too, and 2 of his well-known associates, Brad Parker and Azima Zahir. Lawyers in yet another Harris County lawsuit involving Choudhri's company, and there are a bunch of them, have just had to spend money filing a motion to recuse Judge Morris in their case. The lawsuit involves real estate developer George Lee, who says Choudhri ripped him off for millions.
In my opinion, he always tell you a lie, promise you a lot, and never make it happen.
Oh, did I mention that Choudhri's even being accused of fraud in the real estate deal involving his fancy River Oaks mansion? Remember what we found at the corporation headquarters? But hey, I'm the real bad guy here. In a new court filing, Joe Sibley says he's now turning me in to the U.S. Attorney's Office for engaging, wait for it, in racketeering. That's a new one. Since we're an investigative media firm reporting on the developments in the Choudhri case, we always call folks in advance to make sure everyone has a chance to speak their piece, even a peach like Choudhri's lawyer.
You've reached Tamara and Sibley. Please leave a message.
So I did leave a message, and before we play it in its entirety, and we will, I want the State Bar to follow this, to see what Joe Sibley actually told Judge Dawn Rogers about my voicemail. Quoting, "Reading between the lines, the voicemail clearly suggested a quid pro quo arrangement, wherein Dolce Fino would agree not to run a story on counsel in exchange for pulling the subpoenas. Wait, there's more. The voicemail you're getting ready to hear is part of my, quote, blackmail tactics. So as I wait for FBI agents to show up, why don't we end all the suspense? Your Honor, all our viewers, here's that voicemail that was supposedly so threatening." Hey, this is Wayne Dolcefino. I'm looking for Joe Sibley, doing a story on you and your client and your entertaining subpoena of me, and would like to give you an opportunity to set up a Zoom interview or an on-camera interview or a phone interview, so that we can, give you a chance to comment on it. 713-360-6911 is my office number. Looking forward to chatting, Ciao. Oh, one other thing. Mr. Sibley, he claims in his court filing that my voicemail sounded like, quote, slurred speech, as if I was impaired. You got me, Joe. I do slur every once in a while, and it's public knowledge here in Houston that I've had MS for about 20 years, and I kind of still feel like crap after being in the hospital for a week with pneumonia after my COVID infection. How come you didn't send me any flowers? The court showdown is now scheduled for April 20th, but here's a bit of good news. At least we know we're not appearing in Judge Morris's court, because I don't think that would go well.